Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to a new series, What Makes This Nasheed Great? And what we'll be doing in this series is I'll be kind of going through, breaking down the nasheed, talking through the vocals, the melody, the arrangement, the lyrics, and kind of explaining the little subtleties, the little details that make a particular nasheed so great. And some things that are probably obvious and some things that are probably not obvious. And I come from, my background is I've been in the vocal kind of industry for many more than 10 years, and I'm a nasheed artist myself. I sing, I write, I do arrangement, I produce. So inshallah, with my experience, and also I've got a team that works with me that have got even more experience than me. With that experience, inshallah, I can give you a kind of different perspective that you might not be expecting. Today, we're going to be looking at Maher Zain's Rahmatun Lil'Alameen, the vocals version. So, give you a bit of an introduction of this particular nasheed. It came out in April 2022, so that was last year, and it was written by Muad and Firaz and Maher Zain and a few other people as well. So we know Muad, massive nasheed artist himself, and recently we've learned he writes a lot of his nasheeds with his friend Firaz, who does a lot of the Arabic side of his nasheeds. So it appears, this isn't confirmed, but it appears that he wrote this melody and the lyrics, and then approached Maher Zain's team, and they loved it, and they worked with Muaz and Faraz to refine it, and you know, the rest they say is history. This nasheed was massive last year, but it's just exponentially gone to another level recently with a lot of, I think it's kind of started off with a lot of converts, reverts to Islam that have been playing this particular nasheed, and many TikToks and other Islamic videos have kind of really made it blow up. So let's check out the introduction, and we'll pause it after the first verse, and I'll give you a bit of detail what's kind of going on.
يا من صليت بكل الأنبياء، يا من في قلبك رحمة للناس، يا من ألفت قلوبا بالإسلام.
Okay, this is like, for me, one of the greatest nasheeds ever in history. Totally unbelievable nasheed. So just to start off, this nasheed is in G minor. G minor is a quite pop key for a nasheed. It's quite a poppy kind of common key you would find in pop tracks, and the melodies kind of really immediately kind of really catchy, gets to you straight away. I've not done any warming up or anything, and I've got a bit of a cold. It kind of goes like, it's very catchy, so I'll kind of bring up the kind of lyrics, and it kind of goes, Ya man sallaita bi kulli al-anbiya. So you go, na 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 na, and immediately it hooks you in, mashallah. And then the next bit, so it is kind of the same kind of melody. So it's go, Ya man fi qalbika rahmatun linnas. But the subtlety here, the interesting thing here is, it's the same, but it's got a little bit of a riff by Maher Zain to make it a bit more different, but also kind of hit the emotional side as well. So G minor key, I should mention, is used to be quite emotional. It's a minor. It's emotional, but it's also got kind of like a positivity about the key and the melody that's played. So it's beautiful that it's kind of switched between line to line, and then the next bit kind of goes, "Ya man alayta kuluban bil Islam," or something like that. I don't know if it's Islam. Maybe I've kind of overdone it there with the riff. So the interesting thing here is that there's multiple voices. I think there's a little bit of a harmony or doubles of Maher Zain there again. Like, even though you kind of got the kind of catchy melody, which is kind of similar, it's subtly different in each line, which it shows you the mastermind that's involved, or the great people involved in this machine. That even though we're not right now, we're playing the vocals only version, right? And I'm a vocal artist, so a vocals only artist, so that's the only one I kind of really listen to. Just the vocals itself by itself is unbelievable, mashallah. And then so yeah, you kind of get a harmony. It sounds kind of like a harmony that's kind of played in that third line, and then it kind of hits you at the end with slightly change to the melody where it goes, ya ya habibi ya shafi'i ya rasulallah. Yeah, it's like really amazing, like immediately very catchy, very hooky, and very emotional. And then the next bit we've got to talk about is the actual lyrics itself. Now, the lyrics itself, right, it talks about the greatest man in history, our Prophet ﷺ, so it hits us even more. And the beautiful thing with the lyrics is what they've done is they repeat the word Ya. So they go Ya man salita, and they go Ya man fi, Ya man alafta, and then Ya habibi, Ya shafi'i. And that's the thing, the repetition in uh, pop, can I say nasheeds? Okay, the pop world. I know I shouldn't use the word music, right? The pop world, the whole thing about it is repetition is very important to make things catchy, right? You don't want to use the same thing over again, but you want a theme. You want themes to be kind of running through, right? Throughout the whole of the song, or as much as you can through the song. And so that word ya, and even ya man, is kind of constantly used. It's really, really clever, and again, it's so amazing. Now, if we actually look at the lyrics itself, it talks about, "Oh, you who led all the prophets in prayer. O you whose heart contains mercy for all people. O you who united hearts through Islam. My beloved, my intercessor, O messenger of Allah." And this, for us Muslims, especially those that have studied the Seerah, know that what Muad, Firaz, and Maher Zain have done, and the rest of the writers have done cleverly, is they've tapped into the Seerah. It was when our Prophet ﷺ raised up to Allah, the Miraj, right? When our Prophet ﷺ went up, there was a point where he led the prophets in prayer. So that's like something we know of, right? So they've written it in a nasheed. Amazing. He is the Prophet of mercy. He's united our hearts through Islam without a doubt. He's someone we love more than anything, anyone. My intercessor. So on the day of judgment, he will, inshaAllah, intercede on our behalf to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's go back to the nasheed again.
بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي حبيبي
Okay. So amazing, like so emotional, like so unbelievable, right? Um so what has been really clever with the melody here is you kind of gone from, so if I bring up the kind of lyrics again, you go يا من سليت بكل na 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 na. And then what they've done, okay, which hits you emotionally, is they've kind of gone up to that kind of jumpy kind of catchy track, right? Catchy sound. And then they've kind of slowed it down a bit before they get to the chorus, which kind of builds tension to the listener, right? And it's very, very clever. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it is so, so unbelievable. And then it goes, بأمي وأبي بديتك سيدي صلاة وسلام. So, na 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 na. Na, 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 na. And if we actually look at the lyrics, unbelievable lyrics, it goes, "May my father and mother be sacrificed for you." And the thing about that line that people don't understand that haven't read the Sirah is when we say, "May my father and mother be sacrificed for you," our Prophet Sallallahu. The reason we say that is because that actually came from the Sahabas back in the day. And there is a hadith about you will never be close, you will never be fully close to Allah unless, I'm paraphrasing here, right? Unless you love our Prophet Sallallahu more than you love anybody else. So that includes yourself, that includes your children, that includes your mother, your father. And this is where this kind of line is beautiful, because if you read the Sirah and you can connect to the Sirah and you can, you know, kind of humble yourself, you realize that the Sahabas that said this, you kind of understand it completely. And it's amazing that they've used it as part of this key part of the pre-chorus. So beautiful lyrics, beautiful melody. Let's continue the nasheed.
يا شافعي يا رسول الله بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي حبيبي يا محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد.
Unbelievable chorus. Amazing, beautiful. So there's definitely layers here, right? There's multiple voices. It's not just Maher Zain singing this nasheed. Now the thing about this vocal only track, right? It's not official. Okay, it's someone, and this has been done by multiple people. What they've done is they've isolated the vocals and taken out the instruments, but it's kind of been used by computer, so there's still an element of it's not perfect, right? So some of it, when you listen to it, okay, you 100% know this. Even with that, you know there's multiple voices here, Maher Zain. And with a chorus, that's what you tend to do, right? You tend to layer your voice with doubles, or you add harmonies, and clearly Maher Zain's kind of done that. All of those things just kind of accentuate the chorus anyway. Um, what's really, really great with this, which is really clever, is he goes, Habibi ya Muhammad, and the bit after where he goes, he says it again, but he has another ya to it, but makes it more emotional. So the first time he goes, Habibi ya Muhammad, and then he goes, Habibi ya Muhammad. So, really, really, really gets you as a listener. Just unbelievable chorus, props to Maher Zain and the whole team, Muad, Faraz, for coming out with this nasheed. I have to say, one of the things that, if ever I meet Muad and Firaz, especially with Muad, right? They clearly knew they had an amazing track, right? So it's kind of interesting that they approached Maher Zain. And I wonder if they approached Maher Zain with the opportunity to kind of collaborate and do a duet, or were they felt completely that this should go straight to Maher Zain. Now, I think, if it was a collaboration between Muad and Maher Zain, I think it would sound really lovely and nice. But I don't think it would sound as amazing as it does now because, yeah, I think it has something, and it might be because I'm used to it now, and maybe I would have said the same if I just listened to Muad and Maher Zain's collaboration together. But I think there's something to be said about Maher Zain, about his vocals, um, and yeah, we can go into that a bit more a bit later. But the lyrics itself, my beloved, O Muhammad, you came with peace and guidance, Muhammad. My beloved, O Muhammad, O mercy to the world, O Muhammad. Amazing praise to our Prophet Sallallahu. Okay, so let's play the next verse.
يا من حليت حياتنا بالإيمان، يا من بجمالك علمت الإحسان، يا من نورت قلوبنا بالقرآن، يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله بأمي وأبي.
This is really interesting, right? Because on the second verse, there's like some multiple layers of vocals that kind of come in the second part, right? There's been more emphasis in the second um, line. So you got so the Ya man halayta hayatana bil iman. It doesn't sound like there's multiple voices, but the bit after that has got some harmonies. Sounds like there's a little bit of harmonies there. There's multiple layers there, and I think the reason they've done that is they've kind of switched it up from the first verse, because the first verse it was the third line which had the harmony, and this time it was the second line, which makes it kind of interesting and peculiar. And then it kind of feels, just Maher Zain singing, which is beautiful and emotional. And it's kind of like the way he's singing that the last two lines is kind of broken in a broken emotional sense. Let's have a listen.
يا من بجمالك علمت الإحسان، يا من نورت قلوبنا بالقرآن.
Yeah, I mean that third line, you can kind of hear Maher Zain's really emotional, mashallah. So yeah, really interesting. If we look at the lyrics, oh, you have sweetened our life with faith, iman. Oh, you who taught kindness with your beauty. Yeah, oh, you who illuminated our hearts with the Quran. I mean, especially that that line there, and I think that's what is amazing, is that he picked that line to get really, really emotional, and it's such a beautiful thing to say. Alhamdulillah, we're so thankful to Allah, but we also have to really thank our Prophet ﷺ that he provided this beautiful message. So yeah, you can kind of really hear the emotion, and it hits you even more the way Maher Zain hits the notes with this line. And then the next bit is the pre-chorus and the chorus again. So I'll let them play out, and we'll hear if there's anything different from the previous pre-chorus or the chorus.
بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي حبيبي يا محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد.
The difference between this pre-chorus compared to the previous pre-chorus and the previous chorus is clearly is more emotional. It's definitely a different take from the previous pre-chorus and previous chorus. A lot of nasheeds you will hear, or songs or anything, is they actually use the same take of the pre-chorus and same take of the chorus, which is fine. But I mean, especially for an emotional song, it doesn't hit home, and so it's masterful singing, masterful work to change the version that you've done later on to be more emotional and hit you more, and you can definitely hear it. It's more kind of like broken emotionally the way Maher Zain sings that. So mashallah. So now we got the bridge coming up. So have a listen to that.
الله على خاتم الأنبياء محمد محمد رحمة للعالمين رحمة للعالمين محمد محمد رحمة للعالمين رحمة للعالمين محمد محمد رحمة للعالمين رحمة للعالمين.
It's a choir. It's a group of people singing, and the melody is so the bridge is really different from the rest of the nasheed, because most of the rest of the nasheed is kind of repetitive, slightly different variations. This was kind of like a really different change altogether, but again very beautiful. It's kind of slowed everything down with the whole nasheed, and getting a choir to sing is beautiful. I think the problem again with this not being an official vocal only version is that you can kind of hear a lot of kind of clipping and cutting, and you don't get to really hear the beauty of the choir. But maybe inshallah, with how big this track is, I'm sure Maher Zain will do a proper official vocals only version. But maybe I will do a vocal only version, but we will see. And the lyrics are talking about our Prophet ﷺ being Rahmatun Lil'Alameen. So the main title of the actual nasheed, and kind of repeating that. And it, for me, a choir is amazing, emotional, and powerful, and it's quite clever to have that as part of the bridge. And he does this great link between the bridge to the chorus by doing this amazing riff, but it's beautiful.
محمد رحمة للعالمين رحمة للعالمين حبيبي يا.
So let's go to the final chorus itself.
محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد حبيبي يا محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد.
The chorus is repeated twice at the end. More emotional, more layers, vocals. So I think what I would conclude with this nasheed is what I haven't talked about is the vocals of Maher Zain. So Maher Zain's singing is absolutely fantastic. I think what I really, really love about it is so with singing there's tone, there's pitch, there's timing, there's delivery, there's tone. Now you're gonna get correct pitch when you have a studio recording. The good thing here for me is pretty much all nasheeds, all pop music, they use auto tuning, which I'm not a big fan of, if I be honest with you. I prefer not having auto tuning because it kind of creates a machine kind of sound. Now with Maher Zain's vocals, I can't really hear much, right? If there is, it's very subtle, and I think that's the way to do it. So he's hit the pitch, and it doesn't seem like he's using much auto tuning. The next thing, timing. Obviously, you'll get good timing in a studio. Then you'll then we talk about delivery, how he's delivered it. There's definitely a progression throughout the whole of the nasheed in the way he's singing it, and he's hitting it completely correct, and it's a master, really, a master singer, someone that is definitely the top of the industry. What he's doing there, and his tone is fantastic. Like he's got a unique voice, right? When you hear Maher Zain's voice, it's completely unique. And I think the good thing with Maher Zain is it doesn't sound like it's a copy. He's copying anyone. It doesn't sound like he's trying to be an R&B singer, Michael Jackson, which is quite common sound that you get with R&B pop kind of singers. Or he's not trying to be anything. It kind of does feel like he's got a unique, powerful voice, and the tone is unbelievable for this track. It's really unbelievable. And then lastly, his emotion, the actual emotion. So I think delivery and emotion you can kind of put together, but his emotion for the whole nasheed was on point. It's like a sad, it's not completely sad song. It's an emotional, uplifting track. And it's very hard as a nasheed artist myself to deliver that and not come across completely sad. And in the video, you can see that it's not completely sad. He's positive, smiley, but he's not too happy and not too sad. So he drummed it down to the T. Fantastic. So yeah, that's my summary of this amazing breakdown of this amazing nasheed. It's definitely one of my favorites. We don't have a proper vocal only version. If you want me to do a vocal only version, I don't know this nasheed very well in terms of like the lyrics and stuff. I haven't practiced it, so if you want me to do it, let me know. If there's anything else, you got any questions, any comments from a production point of view, or anything I missed, feel free to hit some questions or give your viewpoint. I'd be interested to get it. And that's a wrap for now. Assalamu alaikum.